Hello everyone and welcome. We are up to the penultimate round of the ATCC Masters. My name is Maddie Richards and we're bringing you all the action live here from the Townsville circuit. Well, sort of live from the circuit. We're at least racing on the virtual version of the Townsville circuit as we look to have 12 drivers competing tonight. Might get more turning up as we just lose someone right then and there, so there you have it. We are getting set for a start to qualifying in about 15 minutes time. Let's have a quick look who is about to start a lap. That looks like Superstar. So Superstar gets the honour of taking us around for a lap around the Townsville circuit. It's a pretty quick main straightaway, but that's turn one where you got to try and keep it pinned and keep it off the walls and get the car straightened up and over the bumps as you get into turn number two, that tight right-hander where we're going to see a lot of action on the first lap as we see Alfonso go to the top of the timing sheets. Up towards turn four, it's another tight right-hander. Can use that curb a little bit, but monster the curb on the left-hand side. Turn five, flat out. Turn six, and usually try and get up on that curb, although Superstar gets a little bit wrong. He ends up on that grass. Not as much exit space as there is in real life. And now up to this final little chicane as Superstar staying clear of those curves, though he gets that second curb. And now up to it's a deceptively tough corner because you're trying to turn, keep the power on, change gears, and the rear of the car does just want to step out on you before you settle the car down into this hairpin. Yeah, the car nice and sideways there. Try and stay off some of these curves because they do just pop the car and make it unstable. And now into the final corner as Superstar gets his Volvo rotated nicely, gets the power down, and that is one lap around the Townsville circuit. That lap itself was good enough for 9th position, although Superstar's best lap is good enough for 9th position. So yeah, not quite 100% on the pace just yet, but he's a pretty smart guy. He'll get it together. So meanwhile, let's have a look at a driver who we're actually really glad he's in the server because we were hearing he was having some steering wheel issues, and that is Daniel Cyclona, currently second fastest in the session. He's just bottled up a little bit behind David Thornton, who is a debutant tonight. So that's David Thornton right there in number 62 BMW. The Cyclona just gets his R31 around the outside. Now the Skyline is not as good under brakes as some of the other cars, as we see Thornton try. He in fact doesn't try, he just gets it done. As Cinder in the chat there, Ruth thought we caught him. Mate, you got to work a little bit harder to get Alfonso. Let's have a look at the times actually. There we have it. So no, you're not that far off. Only half a second between Cyclona and Alfonso, so it is possible. Get in there, Cinder. Just get in there. Actually, you're not too far off the pace either. Those times are actually stupidly close between second, third, and fourth. That is less than a thousandth of a second between them as Bando now moves himself up into second. So we'll have a look at some sectors. See one Jack Meredith just ahead. Welcome Jack Meredith back to the series as well after he served his one race ban and then missed the next corner. Currently sitting sixth in the server, but in the session. But he will improve up to fourth, bumping David Thornton a little bit down the order. And we also welcome back Maddie Richards. We saw him racing on Sunday night. I believe it was Sunday night as Meredith gets it all sideways into turn one. Got to get that big VL Commodore slowed down a little bit better than that. So he's currently chasing Maddie Richards just ahead of him. So not sure how much pain Matt Richards is into, but we're definitely glad to see him back on track. As he gets it wrong. Does he keep it off the fence? Can he keep it going off the circuit? Meredith does clip him, and Thornton clips him as well. So that is a pretty horrible accident to have in practice. So 3 cars off the track. Daniel Cyclona is actually was going faster. I'd say he had to back out of it while that incident was happening ahead of him. So he's going to be disappointed with that one. Check in with Marty. So he's running the Toyota Celica. He's a little bit down at the moment. Down in 8th position. Oh, sorry, 9th position. We do expect to see him a little bit further up the field. He's really driving the wheels off this Supra. See him 4-wheel slide in the car through some of these corners. So he just absolutely janks the steering wheel one way, drifts it the other way, gets all over that little right-hand curb. And certainly looking pretty quick at the moment. He was half a second up on his Delta. I think he lost a little bit of time through the little chicane. He's only got 2 corners to go. I think if he just smoothens up his driving a little bit, he will probably find himself a little bit closer to the pointy end of the field. Although this time should be good enough to put him up closer to the top 5. So we're looking at some very, very close times as Fando goes to the top with a 1:18.3. Cyclona is also onto a personal best. Marty moves into 9th. Was his personal best, but just not enough to get him onto that top 5. So focus on Daniel Cyclona now. See, as Josh Hill goes up to 7th. So we'll check in with Josh Hill in a moment. Cyclona heads out of the final corner. 8 minutes to go in practice. So 1:18.4. It does bring him very close to the back of Fando and Alfonso. So tonight we are shaping up to have a really, really good race. So I hope you sitting at home are getting nice and excited for this one, because I certainly am. Now Meredith, in fact, setting a purple first sector. He's got the headlights ablaze in the VL Commodore. Paddy Donnelly now arrives back into the service, so that's great to have him back tonight. Still up on the Delta, well, now down on the Delta for Meredith. Jump on board with Meredith. Gets the VL turned around that tight little hairpin. Nice drive out of the final corner. So this should be a pretty decent time for him at 19.3. So he's got consistency at least. Josh Hill, on the other hand, he just seems to be getting quicker and quicker and quicker. 19.6 that time round for Hill. Not quite on the pace of Fando or Alfonso, but again, this is practice. We don't know what these guys are practicing for. So most of these guys, I imagine, will be running their race setup, just trying to get used to the car and get into a rhythm nice and early. So Alfonso off the circuit. He has managed to find one of the many escape roads on this circuit. And Daniel Cyclona now purple sector in the first sector. He's up on the Delta. Well, he's up on the Delta. He's looking at a 17 if he can hold it together. Gets it through the fast left-right. This is going to be an amazing time, Aldo. Never mind. He's the prediction's gone all out of whack now. So what other cameras we got? Nope, these are all the cameras we got. So that's a shame. Not a huge fan of this camera set, but I don't know how to set my own cameras, so let's just deal with it. Into the final corner for Cyclona. We'll see if he can set a decent time. And it's not quite a 17, it's a 19.1, so maybe a little bit of sandbagging is happening out there. So let's focus on Maddie Richards in the RX-7. Because we don't like our hearing, let's ride on board with the RX-7. He absolutely takes it to the red line, beyond the red line on the tachometer. And back down to, I would say that's either first or second. He's got an improvement. Oh, he just absolutely drips the RX-7 through the flip-flop. Must be said, this car does seem to like being thrown around. See if Richards can improve. It should be a 20.6. Not quite his fastest time, but again, we have no idea what setups these guys are running. Whether they're practicing for qualifying, practicing for the race. Either way, they have got 3 minutes before we head into the action. Check in with Mark Trenery. He's out on his outlap by the looks of things. Maybe. 22.5 for Mark. Trenery currently the slowest driver in the session. As he locks it up big time going into turn number 1. And he just keeps that Toyota off the wall. It's looking like a smooth lap this time for Trenery. Oh, he has got Meredith coming up behind him. It's a good drive out of the chicane. No, doesn't quite get it out of the final hairpin straight narrow. That'll cost him a little bit of time, a 1:22.4 that time for Trenery. So it just looks like as if the car's just not quite 100% balanced. Now, the big thing about these cars is that there isn't a lot of setup adjustability with these cars. Oh, beg your pardon. Begging your pardon out there. It's been a long day for me. So they don't really have a lot of options for setup. The suspension tuning is very, very small. The damper settings are very, very small. Realistically, there's not a lot you can do with these cars. It is just a case of drive them harder or drive them smoother, whatever the action may be. We have Cinder saying he wants more turbo, or needs more turbo. Mate, I think you got enough turbo. We tune in with Fando. As I believe it is now time to swap over to qualifying. So let's head back to the pits and we will actually set ourselves up to go into admin mode, and we will get the next session started. So actually we should probably let everyone know. So, is that, oh, Fender. Well, let's get into the session as we go into qualifying. Who will be the first car out on track? It looks like it will be Alfonso, our man. Whoa, geez, that pit exit is a little bit rough, it has to be said. So everyone's starting to just file out of the pit lane. Luckily, well, we have a much better turnout tonight with 12. Everyone should be able to find some decent track space out there for each other. And no one should trip over each other during qualifying. So we continue to watch Alfonso. Again, this man has just been untouchable in this series so far. He and this BMW have just gelled so well. And it is just incredible to see just how quick he can get with this BMW. It just seems to suit his driving style as well. Just likes to hang the tail end out and just basically use the rear of the car to steer as he heads around the hairpin, getting ready to start his first flying lap. As he tips it around the final corner, gets the power down to the mighty BMW. And accelerates down the main straight. We can just see him hitting just over 240 kilometers per hour, 250. Hard on the brakes. Can he pull it up? Oh, he locks the inside front. But he just, have a look at that. He's just driving this thing like a go-kart. It's amazing. Drives it in and a little bit of opposite lock. Drives it out of the corner. That's all you need to know. Got some nice four-wheel sliding going on here with the BMW. And again, a little bit of hanging the tail out a little bit. Almost hard on the rev limiter on the run into the hairpin. Gets a little slide. Has a bit of an awkward line coming into the final corner, but he gets it nice and settled before jumping on the brakes, and he'll be the first man to set a lap time. What is it going to be? It might be a 17, not quite. It's a 18.6 for Alfonso. Meredith will be the next one across the line. He's going to set a 19.6, so that's not quick enough for Paul. Hill goes to second. Fando to the top. A 1.18.2. That's faster than in practice. Maddie Richards into fifth. Meredith sliding down the order. Marty into fourth now. Cyclona into third. Alfonso's already gone faster in the first sector, so the times are starting to pile in quickly. Trona will be the next one over the line. He'll go seventh fastest. Check out Lachlan Nichols. Nichols won a race last time out at, what was the track we were racing at last night? I cannot remember. A bit of understeer, a bit of push in the mid-corner for the Volvo, but he gets the power down. He knows he's on the stream. He's flashing his headlights. That'll be a 19.7. That's good enough for sixth. We'll check in with Superstar. He's hasn't quite set a time. Donnelly, he has set a purple first sector in the VL Commodore. Car's looking a little bit unstable. Not quite carrying the pace through the follow through as we head up into the little chicane for Donnelly. Oh, he misses the apex a little bit. He's struggling to get the car stable over those curbs. Right on board now. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. Superstar actually bails out of it to let Donnelly through. Great polite driving there from Superstar. Come to expect that from him. And into the final corner comes Paddy Donnelly. Oh, gets a little bit greedy with the track. That's going to hurt his exit speed. And that's a 1:20.4. That's good enough for fourth. Cyclona now, he's set a purple sector in sector 1. So we'll stick with Cyclona. He's up a little bit on the delta. We're looking at an 18.6 for Daniel Cyclona. As he heads through the follow-through, gets the curb nicely. And I think that was Nichols sliding into fourth place. As Donnelly again sets a purple time in sector 1. Of course, if you're new to the channel, down the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see our timing tower. Purple means overall best in the session. Green means personal best, as Cyclona finds the fence. And that yellow-orangey colour just means they are down on themselves and down on the session best. So Cyclona, unfortunately, that time probably won't count. 18.8. Definitely lost a lot of time finding the fence coming through the hairpin. Check out David Thornton. He's on his outlap, actually, so no, we won't. Jack Meredith now, purple sector 1. I was seeing that the VL Commodores are quite strong in the first sector, along with the Nissan R31s. Meredith way too wide, but he gets the car rotated nicely through the follow-through, and now into the chicane. Gets the curb nicely, and that is a really good line. Let's jump on board with him. How much opposite lock has he have? It's here and feathering the throttle, controlling it as best he can, trying to stop that wheel spin getting out of control. A little bit of a flick on the steering wheel there. Overall, this is looking like a good lap. So he tips the 337 VL Commodore around the final corner. Gets the power down nicely. This is going to be a good time. 19.1, that puts him 6th. That's better than where he was. Fando going faster again. He's just set a purple sector. As we have 2 minutes 50 left in the session. David Thornton goes into 9th place in the BMW. That's the car just ahead of Jack Meredith, actually. No, just ahead of Alfonso. As Thornton now is carrying a lot of speed through the follow-through. Oh, looks like he just outbraked himself slightly. Oh, look at the slide for Thornton. I have a feeling he likes these cars a little bit. Although he's a second down. He still has quite a bit of time to make up on Alfonso in a similar car. Fando, look at that, a 2.16. That is a huge purple sector advantage for Fando. So we'll quickly round off this lap with David Thornton as he comes out of the final corner. It's a 19.9, that'll put him 8th. So let's jump over to Fando now in the Calsonic Nissan. He is up by 3/10 now on the Delta. We're right on board with him now. Have a listen to this turbo spool up. Jeez, Fando is loving this Nissan. It's the car nice and right. In fact, we're seeing purple times lighting up the tree now for Meredith Cyclona. And an 18.1 for Fando, so he drops the bar even further. And Meredith now, he just has Marty ahead of him. Marty just going straight ahead through the cut through. Just to give Meredith a bit of time. Meredith has lost a little bit of time. He's still setting a personal best. As we see Cyclona now into second place. Just 2/10 off of Fando's time. And Meredith actually bails out of the lap, but he'll go again. He's got 30 seconds, so he has plenty of time to get one more lap in. As we see Donnelly now, he is up by 1/10 on his own time. He'll get one more lap in as well. Gets good drive out of the final corner. This will push him up the leaderboard. He goes up to 9th, so he knocks Maddie Richards out into the last position of the top 10. Cyclona now, he's on a purple middle sector. Just gets the curb a little bit wrong as the checkered flag comes out. We see Nichols and Hill staying where they are. Marty stays where he is. Maddie Richards up into 8th. We'll stick with Fando stays on an 18-1. We'll see what Cyclona can do. He's on for an 18-1. Just needs to get this final corner right. Here we might see the Nissan on pole if he gets this right. Gets good drive out. He's losing a little bit of time. It's going to be an 18-1-9. Not close enough for Daniel Cyclona. Jack Meredith, he's not going to improve either. And he's going to come into pit lane. So that is that for qualifying. So let's run through the starting order for race number 1. It goes Fando and Daniel Cyclona off the front row. Then we have Alfonso and Jack Meredith off of row 2. Row 3, Lachlan Nichols and Josh Hill. Then we have Marty and Matt Richards off of row 4. Row 5, David Thornton and Paddy Donnelly. Over the page we then have Superstar Q76 and Mark Trenery rounding out the field. So really competitive times from all of our drivers, as still seeing a lot of drivers unfortunately not making the session, or the night in fact, which is a bit of a shame, but we've certainly got a few events. I think we'll get a few more drivers to turn up for the final round. Final round, of course, is Bathurst, and that will be next week, so yeah, make sure you hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, whatever you feel like doing, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you know exactly when we are going live. So anyway, while we are waiting for the start of the race, I want to hear what you guys think in chat. Who is your pick for race number 1? There's oh, there we go. Now we got our camera working pretty well. Maddie Richards in chat. He's loving the sound of this rotary. Let's give that a little bit of a close-up just for you, Maddie. Where's the exhaust? I've lost the exhaust. So down here somewhere. There it is. So it's on this side. Hang on. We'll find it eventually. Yep, that's an exhaust. Just can't see it because of the because of the shadow. So, oh, we have a prediction from Connor Bell. Oh, there we go. Yeah, give that a rev, Matty. Nice. Burn some of that fuel off, Matty. Jeff and Jackie boy in the VL stonking down the straight. That's from Vando. He's left. Okay, never mind. We have, yeah, Connor Bell predicting Lachlan Nichols, this man here in number 68, to do well. Oh, we've pressed the wrong button again. We wanted that button. Dravamir in chat, that fancy new GTR looks racy. Yeah, pity it won't be taking part unless I quickly switch on my wheel. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to have force feedback. So, it's an all Nissan front row. But there is a slight difference. So this one right here, the DR30. This is the older Nissan. Ah, I see. Very, very well played, Fando. Very well played. This is the older Nissan. Not sure too much on the difference, but across the road we have the R31. Of course, the first of the Godzillas, almost. And of course, this is our man, Daniel Cyclona, in charge of this one. Jack Meredith back in the server. Keep an eye on the 337. The VL Commodore has been lightning fast since the latest updates in a straight line, so keep an eye on this guy down the main straight. Starting next to him is Alfonso. Alfonso has been basically unstoppable in this series, so we might have a race on our hands. As the lights come on, we are ready for a start, so let's begin the countdown. Make sure you get those predictions off. Forgot to do the predictions. Anyway, we'll probably get that started on the next race. As the lights go out, we are away and racing. It is a strong start from the two Nissans, but a better start slightly for Fando. Alfonso looks to try and make it 3 wide. Meredith trying to get up the outside. As thank you for the subscription, Munro at 185. As we head into turn 1, are we going to have a clean turn 1? Cyclona gets the inside line. Fando going around the outside. It looks like the Nissans are still going to be side by side. We have a clean turn 1, unbelievably. But it might be Cyclona that will get the whole shot. Fando fires around the outside again. And they're still side by side. But now Cyclona finally gets the whole shot. And he takes the lead into the follow through for the first lap. As the field streaks through, Alfonso, has had a great start. Meredith just sort of holding station. Nichols and David Thornton battling away. And we're going to go to our broadcast now. So here is our leader, Daniel Cyclona, leading away from Fando. Fando running one through the chicane. That might open the door for Alfonso. Not quite, though. Oh, Trenery has fallen down to the back of the field behind Maddie Richards and Superstar. We'll keep in touch with how he's going as the race goes on. As the top 7 are just starting to streak away a little bit. It's still fairly tight up and down the field. It is Daniel Cyclona who leads the first lap. And here's Alfonso. He's got a good run down the straight. We're right on board with Alfonso. Oh, Alfonso, this is a late move. Oh, a little bit of a bump in the door. I think that was a little bit of a impromptu move for Alfonso. I think he was committed to just following Fando through, but I think Fando slowed down a little bit more than he was expecting. It gets over the curb. That gives him a lot of wheel spin. Fando will have the inside line coming up to the follow through. Meredith not sure which way to go. Oh, they're still side by side, and Alfonso should have the move done. He gets it all off onto the grass. And he's going to lose positions to Meredith as well. Oh, Nichols is off onto the grass as well. He tries to hold off David Thornton going through the chicane. Donnelly, oh no, Thornton has turned Nichols around. And Thornton immediately readdressing that. So, oh, huge shame for Lachlan Nichols. He was driving super well. Just a little bit of a misjudgment from David Thornton, and around goes the number 68 Volvo. So we'll start a Lachlan Nichols show. Watch, see how far he can get up the road. Daniel Cyclona, fastest lap of the race of 1:19.9, and he is gapping the field. Of course, that battle with Fando and Alfonso through the follow through. That would have absolutely helped Cyclona's chances in winning this race, as he now holds a 1 second gap over Fando. Meredith now sitting in third. He is just waiting to get the move done on Fando, waiting for any opportunity, you imagine, just to close up onto the back of the 26 and get the move done. As we head through the follow through, Alfonso is also starting to fight back. Hill is still in touch as well. Marty is doing a great job in the Toyota Celica as well. He's just hanging on to the back of Josh Hill, just ahead of him. Alfonso starting to fight back now on Jack Meredith. Well, I think we can start playing the Jaws music now. Oh, that was close. Alfonso almost took a bite out of the rear of that VL Commodore. Ooh, backs it in. Meredith runs a little bit wide, but he'll get the drive down and watch this VL Commodore as Alfonso flashing the lights. 1:18.4 for Fando, fastest lap of the race. He's starting to close the gap in on Daniel Cyclona. As now Nichols has managed to take back 10th place. He's running very quick times now compared to the drivers ahead of him, so he should be able to clear Superstar and Maddie Richards pretty quickly. So we continue to ride with Fando. Oh, Meredith finds the fence. Oh, look, we got a battle here. So Fando's closed the gap. He's actually looking for a move into the chicane. This is going to be brave stuff. Are they going to touch? Are they going to give each other room? They do. Fando will go for the switchback on Cyclona, but Cyclona does manage to just get the drive down in the R31. Is he going to go defensive? No, he's not. Fando looks up the inside. He sends it. And he gets it pulled up. Fando at the same time trying to put it up the inside of Meredith. Meredith just gives him enough room, and they're still side by side. Cyclona now here will lose the lead of the race. Fando in the number 26 Nissan takes the lead. Just behind Alfonso. He's trying to get the drive down, but he's up against the VL Commodore in a straight line. Alfonso's starting to show a little bit of frustration, flashing the headlights at Meredith. I think the R31 of Daniel Cyclona may just have a little bit more top-end speed than the DR30 of Fando. Because, well, actually, this top four is starting to get tighter again. As, Meredith all over that exit curb again. As, Thornton's around. In fact, he has decided to bail out on us, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll see him back for race 2. Fando sliding the Nissan around. He's obviously not too concerned about tyre wear on this car. As we've also just missed Lachlan Nichols getting back into 9th position. So on lap 5 of 18, about to become 6 of 18. And we're watching Fando leading the way ahead of Daniel Cyclona. Jack Meredith still holding off Alfonso in the BMW. Now let's quickly jump to the rear-facing camera on the DR30, and we'll watch this R31, see how much ground it can make up in a straight line. Not as much ground as what I thought it would. Oh, Cyclona sideways into turn 1. That might leave him vulnerable to the big thumping V8 of Jack Meredith, and maybe even the BMW of Alfonso too. Jeez, what a race we've had already. As now Meredith, look at Meredith, he is absolutely hunting down the back of Daniel Cyclona in the VL Commodore. Again, I think another driver who is not worried about tyre wear. So he starts to ease the power down of the normally aspirated V8 versus the turbocharged straight 6. If I'm not mistaken, they're a straight 6, aren't they? Someone correct me in chat if I'm wrong. Oh, Meredith, sorry, just didn't get the power down just right for that little left-hander. Oh, he runs it in deep, and I think that was some door handle rubbing with Alfonso. And that has given Cyclona a bit of a break from the attack of Jack Meredith. Now we've got a good battle brewing here. We've got Marty in the number 42 Supra. He's got the number 15 of Paddy Donnelly in the VL Commodore chasing him down. So we look out the back of the team Plasinsk Pilsensk, Plesensk, I don't know. Of Marty's Supra. Oh, Donnelly, just as we were talking him up, he has managed to bin it. And he does manage to rejoin. Everyone avoids him. Paddy Donnelly has lost a lot of time, unfortunately. So, oh, here we go. So we got a change for third position. Alfonso has finally made the move stick on Jack Meredith, although Meredith should get good run out of the right-hander into the final corner. Just not enough time really for the VL to build up a head of steam. Although Alfonso runs a little bit wide, this will give Meredith a chance in the straight line. Watch the VL Commodore. It goes to the left-hand side of the track, sorry, and he actually just strips the paint of that BMW. Although Alfonso trying to stick it up the inside. Oh, how close do you want it? So it's back to how it was before. Jack Meredith leading Alfonso. They're still just hanging on to the back of Daniel Cyclona in the number 28 Skyline. Oh, big four-wheel slide for Jack Meredith. He's now into the chicane. Alfonso, this is going to be a test of patience. He's just really got to try and manipulate Meredith into using up those tyres. As we see, he gets much better drive out of the chicane. And this is what allows him to go past the 337. Just see now that the Commodore of Meredith is just starting to have a few drive issues. Just can't get the power down. We'll see if he can get around the BMW this time round. I don't think he's going to be close enough. See him, he's just like flat shifting this car. Oh, he's going to send it anyway. Alfonso does give him a bit of space, and Meredith does. I don't know how he did it. He looked like as if he was past the limit of braking, but he managed to pull this Commodore up. For Meredith, he might be happy just sitting in fourth position because, of course, race 2, that is going to be a reverse top 5. And the man in the box seat is this guy here, Josh Hill. All Hill needs to do as we are about to reach half race distance, really just hold this position, and he will be on pole position for race 2. So we can see that second, third and fourth are starting to tighten up again. 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds now, the gap between Cyclona and Fando, although Marty's just starting to close the gap on Josh Hill. As another fastest lap of the race for Fando, a 1:18.3. Fando is really dropping the hammer down on the rest of the field as Alfonso does his personal best of a 1:18.9. So he's only the second man to jump into the 18s this race. There's Nichols. He's starting to close in on the back of Matt Richards' RX-7. We'll keep an eye on them. Marty and Josh Hill are starting to get pretty close as well. Let's jump on board with Marty in the Toyota Supra, or Celica, whatever it is. Celica Supra, I think it is. So he's got the headlights on. He is trying to chase down, put as much pressure on Josh Hill as possible. He knows that race 2, that position ahead of him will be pole position. And that will give him the box seat for possibly a win in the second race today. I'm saying, unfortunately, Meredith is just starting to drop off the back of Alfonso and Cyclona. As Lachlan Nichols has actually made the move on Maddie Richards. So Nichols into 7th. A great fight back for Nichols. I think that's exactly where he started. Let's have a look at gain and losses. So unfortunately, pretty well everyone's where they started. Josh Hill has made up a position, so has Marty. Lachlan Nichols is down 2 positions. And Maddie Richards is also exactly where he started. So we haven't had any huge movers and shakers this race. So, well, ooh, that's a little bit sideways there for Marty. Loses a little bit of time on the back of Josh Hill. That gap now back up to almost 1.5 seconds. So we're going to quickly jump back to this battle. It's still Daniel Cyclona. Now the skyline seems to be pretty strong through this back section. I mean, how good is this? We have, in the top 5, we have 4 different cars. So we have the Nissan DR30 leading the way ahead of the Nissan R31. Then we have the BMW of Alfonso, the VL Commodore of Jack Meredith, and then another R31 of Josh Hill. But he is currently being hounded by a Toyota Celica Supra. Have to see if Lachlan Nichols can try and close in on the back of Marty and see if he can't maybe pinch that 5th position and take the pole position for race number 2. As Alfonso closes in right on the back of Daniel Cyclona. That's right on board with the BMW man himself. Here we go, chance here for Alfonso. The BMW is pretty strong in this section of the track. He's close enough. Will he go for the dive bomb? No. He's just going to bide his time for now. Pretty close again for the final corner. Not close enough. Oh, he actually runs it in way too deep. Will he find that Dunlop tire? He does. Is he going to lose a position to Jack Meredith? Yes, he is. So he's going to find himself staring at the back of the VL Commodore of Jack Meredith one more time. I think he was just caught a little bit off guard by Daniel Cyclona going into the final corner and just lost his braking marker. So Alfonso drops back to 4th position. He's going to have to do all that hard work again to try and get back up to Daniel Cyclona, and he's got to get through this extra wide VL Commodore of Jack Meredith. Oh, Alfonso finds the fence again. Just saw he came off that exit curb really awkwardly, and that sent the BMW into the fence. Although Meredith is really driving hard on the rear tyres of that VL Commodore, I think the tyres might be looking a little bit second-hand on this VL Commodore. We'll see if he can get the power down. I think he's gotten the power down a little bit better this time round, but he is still vulnerable. Oh, went past the camera I wanted. There we go. Whoa! Up the inside goes Alfonso. Can he hold it? What a move. Alfonso clearly in impatient mode. He wasted no time going up the inside of Jack Meredith into that hairpin. We only just caught it as I was fiddling around with the cameras. But, geez, Alfonso using the strength of that BMW to his advantage. But now Jack Meredith will be using the strength of this VL Commodore. He pulls out of the slipstream. He's got the inside line for turn 1. Can he pull it up? Can the VL brakes let him? No, they can't help him. And Alfonso retakes the position. So Meredith, valiant effort for him. I don't think he's really going to mount too much of a challenge to Alfonso. With only 4 laps to go. Though he's managed to stick with him through the follow-through. Slides the Commodore out of that follow-through section. And now into the chicane we go. We see that the BMW just loves these. No, Josh Hill has found the fence. This elevates Marty into 5th place. And it's going to elevate Lachlan Nichols into 6th. So I don't know what's happened there. I was seeing that Marty was getting a little bit closer to the back of Josh Hill. So maybe the pressure finally got to Josh Hill. And he finds the fence just after the follow-through. Huge shame for Josh Hill, who was driving really well, looking to take pole position for race number 2. And unfortunately, just couldn't quite keep it together. We've also got a small battle starting to brew with Maddie Richards and Paddy Donnelly starting to get pretty close, so we'll definitely keep an eye on those two as well. Quickly check this battle here. So Meredith is just doing everything he can to hold on to the deck lid of the BMW. Oh, Alfonso sideways through the follow-through. This is when Meredith, seems to be a little bit stronger than Alfonso. But now we get into the section where this BMW just seems to be able to get the power down a lot better than the Commodore. So we know that the VL Commodore is very hard on its rear tyres. And that is what Alfonso is using to his advantage here. So now we've got a battle on. Matt Richards in the only Group C car in the field now. Pretty well everyone's swapped to the Group A's after finding that the Group A's were just a little bit quicker everywhere. A bit of an oversight on our behalf. We'll wait to see a difference between the RX-7 and the VL Commodore. Big lock up for Matt Richards. So the pressure has gotten to him, and Paddy Donnelly will make the move stick. Very easy move for Paddy Donnelly as he moves into 8th position. Now can Donnelly hold on to it? Right on top of the roof for Matt Richards now. Oh, I think that was a misshift there for Maddie Richards, so good to see that a lot of our drivers are using H pattern and clutches. Oh, kicks it back down a gear. As we head into the hairpin. Oh, here we go, Maddie Richards. He's got the drive, he's got the inside line, swings the tail out. Paddy Donnelly is going to be on the wrong side of the road for the next corner. But that lighter RX-7, it'll get around there nice and easy. But now he's got to hold off the VL Commodore of Paddy Donnelly. And no, he is not going to do that. So Donnelly now takes 8th position with the straight line speed of the VL Commodore. And welcome to Goldie Bros in chat. Thank you for coming back, mate. We missed you. Still nothing on sub emotes. Hopefully we'll have something ready in the near future. Mount Panorama will be next week, and we are racing at Townsville. So we're going to quickly check back with our race leader. This is Bando, leading the race by 7, almost 8 seconds. Let me vote on Fando for the win. Yeah, I think he's got this, mate. I think he's got this. So we'll have to jump back to. We'll have to get the predictions happening again. Can't believe I forgot about the predictions. Wait a second. Create a dashboard, I think that's it. Anyway, we're focusing on Fando one more time. As he heads through the final few corners of this race. A brilliant, flawless drive from Fando after a great battle with Daniel Cyclona. And Fando will round the final corner in the number 26 Nissan. Will he swing the tail out? No, not quite. But Fando takes the race win for race 1. In second place will be Daniel Cyclona. He does give us a little bit of a show out of the final corner. And he comes home in second place just ahead of Alfonso. Jack Meredith, well, he's under pressure from Marty. So the tyres really went off on the VL. But he will relax for 4th place ahead of Marty. Lachlan Nichols, after falling down the field after having a spin with David Thornton, he comes home for 6th. Unfortunately, Josh Hill has had a massive spin, and he falls all the way down to 9th position. So a huge, huge disappointment for Josh Hill coming home in 9th position. He's going to be stupidly frustrated. A huge shame for Josh Hill. Superstar in 9th. We've got some people doing burnouts, I think. Actually, that sounds like a V8 of Jack Meredith. Look at this. Oh, that's a decent burnout. Look at that. That's a decent line locker. Oh, that's 2 decent line lockers. How do you like this? No smoke, though. Probably nothing left of those rear tyres of Jack Meredith. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's found grass somehow on the tarmac. He's done a Mark Winterbottom and found the fence during the burnouts. And Lachlan Nichols, he pretty dejected down in 6th place, but still got one more race to go. So let's head back to the pits and we will have a look at how they ended up. So, that is not the page we wanted to be on. So, in first place we have got Fando ahead of Daniel Cyclona and Alfonso. Great battle between the top 4, Fando, Cyclona, Alfonso and Meredith. Really great racing from those 4 in the early stages of the race. Unfortunately for Jack Meredith, I think the tyres definitely had enough by about the halfway point. Marty home in 5th. He takes pole position for race number 2 as our camera has gone all sorts of weird. Oh, yep. Just going to have to imagine what the track normally looks like. Lachlan Nichols, after coming together with David Thornton, he manages to fight back to 6th place. Matt Richards in 7th. Paddy Donnelly in 8th. Josh Hill in 9th. And Superstar in 10th place. Mark Trennery rounds out the field in 11th place. And David Thornton, unfortunately, a DNF. So, a bit of a shame there for David Thornton. Hopefully he makes it back into the server in time for race number 2. Let's head back over to where our cars will be lining up for the start of race number 2. Driver of the race. Geez, that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I think Lachlan Nichols should get a very decent honourable mention for that drive back from the rear of field to 6th. He could not really close the gap down to Marty, but that was a really good fight back for Lachlan Nichols. So yeah, I'll give him a shout out for driver of the race in that one. And geez, I really have to big shout out to the top 4 for such great racing as well. Unbelievable swapping positions pretty well from the first lap, and they did not touch once. Great stuff from those guys. Oh, thank you, Goldie. I love you too, mate. Okay, so as the field generates onto our start grid. So let's have a look at the front row. We have got Marty and Jack Meredith. Then on row 2 we have Alfonso and Daniel Cyclona. And out of 5th and 6th we have Fando and Lachlan Nichols. And we have Matt Richards, Paddy Donnelly, Josh Hill and Superstar, and Mark Trennery off the back of the grid. Okay, well, let's give our first prediction of the night. So let's see. Will we have a clean turn 1? Get those predictions happening, people. Got 2 minutes to get your predictions in. Are we going to have a clean turn 1? Let me know. Well, actually, we'll technically call it turn 1, but I mean this technically here is turn 1, but I mean this corner here. As soon as our graphics come back, graphics. Uh-oh, I've lost the track. Okay, there's the cars. Okay, good. It's come back. Oh no! Oh no! No! No, free cam, please, come back. Alright. Maybe, no, okay. You know the corner I'm talking about. That's all I can say. Yes, you trust these drivers. I trust these drivers too. They've been pretty well behaved in most of the racing we've done. And I'm glad to see that a lot of other people are agreeing with me. So thank you very much. So a lot of people betting channel points on yes for a clean turn 1. So good to see that Lachlan Nichols has still got high spirits. Still flashing lights, still beeping the horn, even after a shocking race 1. Yep, we see you, Lockie. You're getting attention. What can this guy do? He's had a great start to his night. Great win in race 1. Can he continue it? Well, we're about to find out as our lights start to come on. Yeah, we've got... Oh, you can hear us on Rotary Barrows fan. Anyway, we have got the lights coming on. We have got 6 lights on. 6 lights out. We are away and racing. And it's a great start from Jack Meredith, even better start from Alfonso, but he's got nowhere to go. A big VL Commodore blocking the way. And it looks like Jack Meredith will hold the start line. No, Fenner's been turned around. Superstar and Maddie Richards. Oh, we got a car in for ending. That's Mark Trenery. No way. We didn't even make it to turn 1. And Mark Trenery, oh no. That is a lot of damage on Mark Trenery's car. Oh, we're gonna, that's going to be an investigation. I know it. I can see it. And that is Superstar. I don't know how much damage it's on that Volvo. He had nowhere to go, I think. I don't know what to call that. I don't think we can really call that turn 1, but... oh, geez. Well, anyway, Jack Meredith has taken the whole shot on lap 1. He has taken a good lead ahead of Daniel Cyclona. Oh, Cyclona now, he's got good run into the final hairpin. And, oh, Alfonso will follow him through. Great racecraft from Alfonso. I don't know. I don't know how to call that. Mark Trenery at DNF. So, I don't know how to call that one, but we have to call it sooner or later because we have another prediction that we need to make. So, I might... I'm going to have to give it to the nose, I'm afraid, because that wasn't a clean start. I should change it to a clean start. So we'll have to give that a no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone who voted yes, but unfortunately, it did not go our way. So we'll have to try and make a good prediction here. So our next prediction is who's going to finish higher at the end of the race. And we're going to make it interesting. We're going to go, just to put a little bit of pressure. What? 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 That's weird. I didn't do that. Oh, okay. So we so we have a restart. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So let's go back to the give a chance for everyone to get back into it. Will we have a clean start? There's a prediction. Go for it, lads. Go for it. That's the... Uh-oh. Okay. All right, here we go. So now we've fixed our camera up. So I think we're going to have a restart, but they're going to do a single file rolling start. So you know what? I think that's fair. Mark Trenery, if you're in the stream, may as well come back and have another go. Hopefully make it in time. So we are away and racing, I think, a single file restart. So I don't know what's happened here, but it looks like they're all going for it. So are we going to have a clean start? I think we are. I have a feeling that has restarted the entire race session. So Alfonso has taken full advantage of that, and he has taken the lead of the race. So Alfonso with the whole shot and a clear advantage heading into the first couple of corners. Well, let's head back to our broadcast. So Alfonso, okay, so we had a clean start, so there you go, there's a prediction, all done and dusted. Now, who'll be higher at the end of the race? I was going to pick on this guy here, and I think we'll make it fun. So Lachlan Nichols and Marty, who is going to who's going to finish higher up? As we see, a good battle here. Jack Meredith and Daniel Cyclona side by side. These two cars got some pretty quick pace down the straight. Oh, look at the back here. Josh Hill has just been passed by Paddy Donnelly, the VL Commodore. Fando being passed by Superstar, or I think Fando passing Superstar. or Superstar passing Fando. My God, I wish I would get my English right tonight, guys. It's been absolutely shocking tonight. Just the confusion of the restart. Yeah, Winglish. Thank you. Now I've lost my mouse. I don't know where I'm pointing at. There we go. So now we got to... Oh, no! Meredith is around! He's been collected by Nichols and Paddy Donnelly! Oh, no! And Marty and Superstar trying to fight their way through. Jack Meredith is taking the cut through. Trying to pick his way around those tight tie barriers. And I think he's just Austin powered himself. Yes, he has. He has absolutely Austin powered himself. I shouldn't be laughing at poor Jack. But that was kind of funny. So Alfonso, fastest lap of the race in 18.9. He is starting to streak away from the field. Marty in second place, 2 seconds adrift. And he's got Daniel Cyclona just behind him. So, there we go, great battle here again. So, Paddy Donnelly passes Matt Richards again. And they've got Fando just starting to bear down on them as well. Got Nichols at the head of this train. I don't know how much damage is on this Volvo. You can see that his lap pace is struggling a little bit. He's down in the 120, so perhaps he's picked up a fair bit of a wheel alignment damage. In fact, let's go on board with him, and we'll see if we can see anything wrong with this Volvo. As Maddie Richards up the inside of Paddy Donnelly again. That RX-7 is unbeatable in the corners. So light and nimble, but it just lacks a little bit in a straight line. Oh, we can hear this Volvo is not happy. .28 for Nichols. That is definitely not his usual pace. Tips it through turn one. He's got the other Volvo of Superstar just behind him, and then the VL Commodore of Paddy Donnelly as we swap back to Superstar. So I think there is a little bit of suspension damage on the number 68. See the headlights blaze for Fando in the background there. So he's all over the back of Maddie Richards. Let's go on board with Fando. So he's looking up the inside. Richards goes defensive, a little too defensive. Oh, Paddy Donnelly. Oh, that's going to have to be investigated. Here comes the skyline of Fando, as he should just streak past the RX-7. Fortunately, Superstar has DNF'd. Hear that RX-7 on the brakes, downshifting. And we've got a good battle starting to brew here. Marty, he's just starting to come under pressure from Daniel Cyclona in the number 28 Skyline, although I do not like that ping for Daniel Cyclona. Oh no, I hope we don't. I hope we don't have the dreaded DC for Daniel Cyclona. Oh, I think that bar's starting to come down now for Cyclona, so that's good. So fastest lap of the race now goes to Daniel Cyclona, 1:18.7. Look at the straight line speed of the Skyline. He draws level with Marty. Marty's got the inside line. He will hold the corner. He doesn't quite get the power down, and Cyclona, he's still on the wrong side of the track for the next corner. Marty should be able to fight back, but he falls in behind Cyclona instead. So Cyclona, great move around the outside. He gets the position away from Marty. And now what can he do to chase down the 64 of Alfonso? See that the Skyline is looking a lot more settled than the Supra behind him. Look at the slide from Alfonso. That was a full handbrake turn, that was. Forget downshifting. Now Cyclona. Looks like his internet connection is starting to stabilise, thankfully for him. There's another 19 flat for Cyclona. But at 18.7 for Alfonso. Now Fando watch. Well, he's up to 5th. It's just up behind Lachlan Nichols now. We'll quickly swap over to Fando as he throws the Skyline in. I don't know how that car just stuck then. That was crazy. Maddie Richards in pit lane for some reason. Did he return to pit lane, I wonder? Has he had a disconnection? So I wonder if Maddie Richards has got some problems going on. Now Nichols under attack from Fando. I have a really strong feeling that this Volvo is wounded. Fando all over the rear bar of Lachlan Nichols now. We'll see if the straight line speed of the Volvo can save Nichols this time round. And I think it will. DR30, I don't think it's as strong in the straight line as what the Volvo is. It's in the corners that this Skyline really does shine. As thank you to Royal Harold for the follow, much appreciated. Glad you're enjoying the show. Oh, here comes Fando. He's got the run, but he's going to have to pull out of it. He was half on the grass. Nichols slides the Volvo in. Now, who can get the drive in? But now it is Nichols, but Nichols, that Volvo is definitely the walking wounded. Monix 1101. Thank you for the follow. That would be Mark Trenery. Oh, Maddie Richards at DNF, mate. Really sorry to see that. I guess we may as well invite you into the commentary box. Give me a second. There we go. Welcome to the commentary box, straight from the track, Maddie Richards. Disable your push to talk, mate.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's a huge shame for you.
Yeah, I got a phone call from my doctor, so I had to stop.
Well, that's very insensitive of them.
Yeah, well, this is true.
I actually remember. I actually had a moment like that. I was doing an Octane online race, and we literally, the lights literally went green for the formation lap, and I got a phone call So I had to do the formation lap one-handed while talking on the phone.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a distraction, especially how much you got to work the RX-7 around here. I was like, yeah, I got no hope. Oh, that was fun.
That was fun. Oh well, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Nearly impossible, but it was fun. I had some great fun battles with Donnelly.
Oh, you had some great fun battles throughout the entire race, really. But yeah, shame you got a phone call. At least it was a phone call. I thought your back went on you again.
It's sore. It's very sore. I've on a lot of medication right now.
There we go. Medication solves everything. Absolutely everything.
So who we got here? Fando and Nichols.
Yeah, so these two are nose to tail. I've got to keep an eye on Daniel Cyclona because he's starting to close the gap on Alfonso. That gap has gone from 3 seconds down to 1.8. High-end racing.
Only 8 laps to go too, so
yeah, it's possible
that could, yeah.
These two are still nose to tail. We've got Paddy Donnelly as well. He's starting to close in on the back of Josh Hill. Here comes the skyline. He can't quite get the move done. Oh, that is close. Let's look out the back of Lachlan Nichols now at the front of this guy. That is what he is seeing in the mirror. And I would say that Lachlan Nichols is carrying a lot of damage because he got involved in the shenanigans with Meredith. And I want to say, I don't know who it was, but...
I think Superstar was in there. I think he left not long after it.
Yeah, Superstar and Paddy Donnelly got involved in an incident. So there goes.
There was so many. It was carnage. It was great. Everywhere you're driving, you're just dodging cars.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to investigate that incident on lap 2 as well. So there goes my quiet evening.
Oh, it'll be a fun time in the steward's room, I'll tell you that much. I do not miss my steward days. Oh, can he get a crossback? I don't know if that Skyline has the run in compared to the Volvo.
No, it does look as though the Volvo has less turbo lag than what the DR30 does. So there we go. So Nichols now starting to streak away now. He's got good run, staying off the curbs. And he's just starting to get away a little bit. Look at Vando.
Big
it's working
like
for him.
R7.
That's working for him. Unfortunately, Jack Meredith is also into pit lane, so I'd say we're about to have our fourth retirement of the night. Unfortunately, Mark Trenery was a retirement as well. He got involved in that first lap carnage in the second race. So, yeah. Now, Donnelly's found the fence again, and that's coming out of that sweeper. So.
These cars really struggle. The tyres are so bad on them.
Yeah, the VL Commodore, that's its Achilles heel for sure. As we see Jack Meredith back out on track, great to see that he's rejoined the race as he's just ahead of both Fando and Lachlan Nichols. I will expect that Meredith will get out of the way nice and early for these guys. Let them continue on with their race. Oops, that's not the car I wanted. That's the car I wanted. I always cringe a lot more with sim racing when cars get that close. It is very hard to judge the distance between cars in sim racing.
And all you need is a sudden lag spike or something like that, and your life is ruined.
That's it. Or net code. Here we go, Fando trying to sneak it around the outside. He'll try and get the better drive out of the chicane, which he does a little bit. Here we go, so we'll be on, but Nichols, he is just going to plant this Volvo down the inside. He's going to make Fando go the long way round, and Fando's going to have to do it the really long way round and deal with the turbo lag of the DR30, although I think he's got it.
If he can hold the inside here and they both get a good drive out, yeah, he's done.
Yep, but can the straight line speed of Nichols, let's go on board with him. He's going to bump draft him. He's bump drafting him. Oh, I'm glad that works in this. Now, Fando's going to park it up the inside this time. It's his turn to go defensive. And, Nichols backing it in. He's one of the good old boys from karting as well, Nichols. Here we go. He's got good drive out of turn 2. And he's temporarily got the position back, but he's on the wrong side of the road. And well, I think they definitely made a little bit of contact there.
They're certainly sharing paint secrets, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. So, and I think just now the skyline of Fando, he should have the position. Now,
I think he'll just start to pull away now.
He should here, but I really do feel that Nichols is carrying a lot of damage on the Volvo. So I think I saw that Volvo get airborne.
I definitely heard him getting
okay.
saying a few words he shouldn't have been saying, probably.
Okay.
So there was a bunch of swearing and abusing at one point.
I see. Anyway,
tempers do get flared.
Tempers do get flared for sure. Anyway, we'll continue on with the racing at hand. I'll have to deal with that later. Anyway.
Whoops.
Yeah, thanks for making my night even longer.
I'll explain later.
Yes. That's Meredith. He's found the fence. I think now we'll see him just back out of it, and he does indeed, so... I'll tell you what, though. Nichols is not falling off the back of Fando. I think now that he's got a guide in front of him, and he's got the... What do we call it? The carrot in front of him. He's starting to just improve and get his lap times down. I mean, his predicted now is sitting in the mid-19s, so it is just amazing what can happen when you have a driver get in front of you. You can just suddenly find that extra tenth or two to stick with him.
Oh, it was definitely helpful for me while I was doing it, because I had no idea. I seen everyone else braking, I knew I could push it a little bit further.
Yeah, well, I did mention that a couple of times on the stream. The RX-7 is so light and nimble, it can just outbrake a lot of the Group A cars and outcorner them. It's just down the straights, like this one here.
Yeah. Every time I got onto the straight while I was battling with Donnelly, I'm just like, bye-bye, and just watch him drive past. There's nothing. Well,
especially with the VL Commodore. The VL Commodore is a jet in a straight line.
Oh, it is. Like, I was expecting, when Fando got me on the straight, I was expecting him to run away as well, and I was like, you're not really moving anywhere, what's going on? But I was so used to getting overtaken by the VL.
Now, the VL is just like I said, it's a monster in a straight line.
It'd be really impressive at Bathurst, I think, if they can make the tyres work.
Now, I'm hoping these guys behave themselves, because I know that these two have had a few coming together here and there in the sim racing world. Oh, no, Meredith will just take care of that himself. And he's just going to do a little bit of circle work and then continue on. Yes. He's... Oh, he's just realised that Hill was coming.
That would have popped up on the radar at the last minute. Hill's carrying a lot of damage as well.
Hill, oh yeah. I think the better half of the second half of the field would have been carrying a lot of damage after that incident on the back section. And Meredith into pit lane. I think we're going to see that 337 get parked. Sadly.
To be fair, you couldn't blame him for having enough.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That BMW sounds great.
It is a pretty strong car, as Alfonso has been demonstrating all season long. I believe he is sitting on 190 points or something like that. His nearest competitor, if I could just bring up the Discord just quickly. Point score, he is on 190, and the next driver behind him, which is Lachlan Nichols, is back there on 124 points. So that's just an indication of how dominant Alfonso has been, and it is very hard with our point system to have that sort of a gap.
Yeah, no, definitely. The point system's designed to be able to keep it more close and everyone constantly battle, but if you win in every race, you're still going to get that lead.
Well, our point system, just for those sitting at home, if you follow MotoGP, it's exactly the same. And well, we saw in, I think it was 20 2016, I want to say, or 2017, with Marc Marquez just absolutely dominating everything. Yeah, even though that point system does help riders fight back, when you have a rider as dominant as Marc Marquez with that point system, it's pretty well game over.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he had the championship wrapped up with 6 rounds to go or something that year. Like he won the first 8 races or something ridiculous like that. And we're talking MotoGP, not Formula 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's got a decent lead here, doesn't he?
Well,
Scuzzer, he's
sticking with him. So that
he did lose a bit of time because last time we were talking about him was what, at 1.5.
Well, we're on the final lap of the race, and unless he can put in an absolute monster of a lap, I think Daniel Cyclona is going to have to accept second place. So, Alfonso, I don't know what happened with that restart. I thought you guys were going to do a single file restart.
I have no idea, honestly.
I think a few people.
I just heard, press Y. Okay. So, I didn't.
Well, anyway, we're getting into the final stages of this race, or the final few corners of this race, and Alfonso has taken advantage of that restart to extend a pretty strong lead. So, great drive from Alfonso.
Everyone's definitely spread out as the race has gone on.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, when you have a couple of incidents and we have a lot of cars that are damaged, it certainly does hurt a few people's chances to stick with the car ahead of them. Yeah. As Alfonso heads around the final corner for the last time. And it will be Alfonso, as I've been saying for much of this season, who takes the win. Second place will be Daniel Cyclona, and in third place will be this guy here, Maddie. He's going to give us a little show out of the final corner, and he'll be happy with third. I think he had to pick his way through the back section carnage. It takes a lot of skill to get through it as well. Fando in fourth. That's another strong round for him since swapping to the DR30. Lachlan Nichols, he's going to try and pick his way through, but he does not.
That was full send.
That was a full send. Josh Hill comes home in 6th place in the number 38, and then we have Paddy Donnelly in the VL Commodore, last of our finishers, apart from Jack Meredith. Sorry, Jack Meredith the lap down. And up, Donnelly is binned it on the final corner. Trying to give us a show.
Part of the show.
Part of the show, yeah. Well, anyway, that is it. So that is race 2 in the books. So let's run through our... Let's have a look at our our finishing order. So Alfonso takes the win ahead of Daniel Cyclona and Marty. Fando in 4th and Lachlan Nichols rounding out the top 5. Josh Hill in 6th. Paddy Donnelly in 7th, Jack Meredith in 8th, and then we have our DNFs, Maddie Richards, unfortunately currently sitting in the commentary box because of a phone call, of all things. Superstar Q76, unfortunately, I'd say he just had way too much damage to continue after the collision with Paddy Donnelly. And then Mark Trenery, who unfortunately left after that first start. And David Thornton also left after the first race. So that is it. Quickly just take a quick snapshot of this. There we go. That's for points purposes later, because I cannot decipher the results folders that Assetto Corsa draws up for me. So let's wrap this stream up and hand out some channel points. So if you went with Marty, which 100% of you did, no love for Lachlan Nichols, unfortunately. Congratulations, have some channel points right there. Well, we're going to have to try and pick a driver of the race for race number 2. And that's going to be pretty difficult.
I think Fando did pretty well. He dropped to the back.
Yes,
to
he
start. And yeah, still managed to get up pretty well. I raced very clean too. He definitely gave a lot of space. I've never actually got to race side by side with him, but it was a very clean driver. Showed a lot of respect, and he still drove through half the field. So.
Oh yes, he is. He is a very, very good driver. Fando does show a lot of respect to everyone around him, which is really good to see. Geez, I think Lachlan Nichols should get another shout out for race 2 because I think he was carrying a lot of damage and he held Fando off for a very long time as well.
Yeah, he'd definitely have a lot of damage in these things. So I destroyed the front of my car and it was a nightmare to drive. So if he's taken a whole bunch of damage, it is definitely hats off.
Just going to try and see if there's any... Try and find the... Maybe we can find something. A little bit of a log of car damage. No, we only have car log damage for Jack Meredith, unfortunately.
They were definitely involved in incidents.
Oh, yes. Well, anyway, let's wrap this stream up. Thank you, everyone, for following. We should be back tomorrow night for the final race of the GT Club GT4 series. And, yeah, that is from Bathurst, I believe. So, yeah, make sure you hit the follow button, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live tomorrow night. Yeah, thank you to Maddie Richards for joining me. Unfortunately for Maddie Richards joining me tonight. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Good. I don't mind keeping you company.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, let's wrap this stream up. Thank you everyone out there, and we will see you next time.